Errol, it's so good that you could join us again. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much indeed. For those of you who don't know, Errol is the father of Elon Musk, the entrepreneur and businessman who founded X.com in 1999, I think it was. And he also was SpaceX in 2002 and Tesla Motors in 2003. Elon became a multimillionaire in his late 20s when he sold his startup company Zip2, a division to basically compact computers. And he's had ownership stakes in X Corporation, Boring Company, XAI, Neuralink, OpenAI, and Starlink. He's been described as the Edison of our time and the de facto US president. He's currently the richest person in the world with a net worth of 251 billion. That's about 191 billion pounds. And according to Bloomberg's billionaires index, he's projected to become the world's first trillionaire by 2027 if his wealth continues to grow at the current rate of 110% annually. Errol, it's such a delight that you could join us again. I want to start off, as I say, what I love doing about having you on the program is that we can unpack all of the stories that are there in the media. We always say that if you read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you don't read the newspaper, you're misinformed. What I'd like to do is to go through some of the stories that we have heard about Elon. And first of all, let's start off with politics and how he got involved. Because you, in 1997, you were elected to the Pretoria City Council. You were one of the youngest, I think, if not the youngest, on that sort of basis. Tell me how that all came about and whether that was the catalyst, if you like, for Elon's interest in politics.
Oh no, no. Elon was a baby when I was a city councillor, but I, you know, had been at university in various, sort of organizations, student organizations. So after university, it seemed to me that one should try and keep on doing that kind of thing. The first thing I wanted to do was to fix up things that I thought were not very good in the town in which I lived, which was Pretoria. And I tried to have some improvements made. And then I discovered the best way to do it is to stand for the council. So I stood for the council and I was elected by landslide. Oddly enough, I was very young. I was only about 23, 24. And I stood up against the behemoths, or what do they call it, behemoths of the Nationalist Party. And they had everything. They threw a huge tent and food for everybody. And I had a tiny little tent. And anyway, I won the election. And I then continued as a city councillor. I was not welcomed onto the council because I was the first English-speaking person in South Africa. Has two distinct, sort of European groups or white groups, and that's the Dutch group and the English group, which has come about as a result of probably the Napoleonic Wars or something like that.
Right.
But at any rate, these two groups have never really merged in South Africa, and they still haven't, even to this day. But at that time, they were very, very part. And so, to be elected as an English-speaking person in Pretoria, which was the seat of, the nationalist government, was quite odd. But anyway, I was treated initially as a sort of foreigner, and not very nice at all. But I soon set things right because turned out my grandparents were in the almanacs of Pretoria at the turn of the last century, which was in the 1900s, early 1900s, whereas many of the South African Dutch guys Afrikaners who were on the council had no such thing. So I soon put them in their place, and I went on to be quite an effective city councillor.